What's up, y'all? How you doing? It's your boy Youre. It's March 1st, 2015. How you doing? Doing all right? Well, you're on the backside of your weekend, right? I know. You gotta go back to work tomorrow, huh? You gotta gear up for a new week. You gotta go and face that person that you ain't seen eye to eye with, too. I know I'm talking to somebody, but that's okay because you know what? You're protected. You're blessed. And that's all that matters, right? So how you doing? Doing all right? Well, I hope that your weekend was pleasant. I hope that you went out and were able to do the things that were intended. Here you go. Eternal. Yankee candle. You know I love my candles. You know. And I always light a candle for each and every one of you because that's my connection to you. To remind you to always remember you've got that flame inside your spirit. Yeah, he put it there when he breathed life into your existence. That's right. So anyway, I had a story I wanted to share with each and every one of you because, you know, with the snow these last 2 weeks, I know sometimes that can trigger emotions and cause reflection because you know what? We have to slow down, right? And I know wherever you are, you probably saw, unfortunately, a lot of people that had to make the phone call to the insurance agent when they shouldn't have had to, you know. But it happens, you know. It happens, you know. And hopefully there was no major injuries, but unfortunately I know there were some. But even in that, I hope that whatever weariness is going on, it'll pass in the intended time. And that's all that matters, because what matters is that you are happy. What matters is that you embrace your life. What matters is you see your worth. And it all starts within you, right? Because guess what? You know it. You're priceless. There's only one you, so come on now. We got to do our work. And that's all that matters. So, I started my day, well, actually, last night. Uh, I don't mean it that way. Well, within the last 2 weeks, as you already guys know, I like my coffee, right? So, I decided to go out and treat myself. And I found this coffee maker that not only gave you the option to grind beans compared to the regular granules. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, you know what? I got a coffee maker. I don't have to go and get a grinder. And that was one of the real reasons why I didn't mess with beans and stuff, because I was just being lazy. But I saw this unit that had both options. And so I went out and I got it, brought it home, tried it out, fell in love with the coffee maker. Fell in love with it. And everything was great until last night. So I called myself, making some coffee. Just one thing. The coffee maker didn't tell me that it didn't want it to work. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, well, maybe I didn't clean it out, whatever. And I started doing the little operational checks and stuff like that. Nah. So well, maybe I programmed it and didn't realize what I programmed, and it's just hard bent to play itself out. Well, I went to work today. Came back thinking I had a pot of cold coffee, but that would have told me that it worked. Nope. Turned out the same way it was when I left it. So, you know what I did? No, I ain't throw it in the trash. I know, see, I know one of y'all was like, throw it in the trash. No. But what I am going to do is, I've already boxed it back up. I'm going to take it back to where I got it. And, won't be getting that brand anymore. I'll be getting something else. So, then, as I went to work, um, I also use a Bluetooth as well. And I get to work, And I realized the little earbud is off of it. I said, okay. Put it back in my pocket. I said, well, I gotta go get the earbud for it connected before I can use it. What happens? The Bluetooth grows wings and it got out of my coat. So I was like, I didn't even trip on it because I was like, you know what? I look at it like this. Someone will find it. Well, if they find it now, it ain't going to be any good because it's raining. But if someone had found it beforehand, my philosophy is this. When things come up missing, there's a divine reason for it. Gives you room for something better to come along. Also, maybe somebody needed it more than you. But anyway, with those emotional triggers that played out, I had every right to be upset, be pissed off. But you know what? I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping at all because, you know what? I'm a firm believer. Everything that is intended for your life will be given to you in the intended time. Does that mean you got to work? Yes, possibly. Does it mean you have to take a different route? Yes, possibly. Or maybe it means you just got to be still. How many times have you lost your keys and don't know where you put them, or that cell phone, and you're like, I don't remember. And the moment that you decided to regroup, you had clarity. Yes. So my thing was, I could turn around, be pissed off at my coffee maker, which has no emotions, be pissed off at my Bluetooth that has no emotions, and I'll be pissed off for nothing. How many times have you went to work or been somewhere and there's somebody that are caught in their emotions? Now, everybody has a right to feel what they feel. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes we allow our emotions to get the best of us because we don't understand what we're feeling. And it could be something that may have occurred days before. That's why it's very important that you stay grounded. That's why it's important to go within yourself. Now, there are going to be times, y'all, and I know I'm talking to somebody. There's going to be some times that you just don't want to be bothered. You think the world is on your shoulders. You think everybody's out to get you. But in actuality, what I say? What did I convey? Sometimes there's a blessing in disappointment. But you won't be able to see it until the moment you decide to request or require clarity in you. So that might mean you might got to take a step back. That might mean that you might need to unplug that phone. It might mean you may need to take that time, that proverbial me time, to get yourself together. That doesn't mean that make you a weak person, y'all. It don't. It don't. It means you're taking stock in your life. Yeah, y'all see it too, because it's getting on my nerves. There you go. But you know what? Just like my dreads, God put that in my heart to learn to be patient, and they've been growing ever since. And then in the intended time, I'll cut them off. Cause you're looking at a guy that used to stay in a barbershop once a week, keep it nice, tapered up. That's didn't want to look like a bum. But no disrespect, but that's who I am, But ever since I embraced my journey to, number one, fall in love with who I am, go within not only the way I think, but the way I act, and take accountability for the choices I made. Could I actually understand who I am? And I'm still growing, y'all, just like you are. See, I don't know what this is going to go to, but everybody goes through seasons. Everybody has peaks and valleys. And depending on where you are in life, depending on the circumstance, you may actually be in the midst of your spiritual storm. And to some, they kind of lowball it. They say, oh, that's a nervous breakdown. No, it's not. What's going on is your higher powers, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ. But I am humbled to know he is acknowledged by many other names. I respect that. Just so it happens, I know him as I know him as Jesus. Sometimes, y'all, we make choices and decisions not knowing the effect, only to later on play out. Some people know that as the butterfly effect. Some people know that as karma. I know that as divine intervention. Because I also know this. I also know that, guess what? Every moment that you're able to breathe in, take this air, you're able to blink them beautiful eyes you got, you're able to wake up to see another day, that's another day to work on you, to make you better than who you are. But let me throw this disclaimer out, y'all. Now, with that being said, you know, that devil, he is like a lion in the brush. And a lot of people like to take a blind eye or not acknowledge this, but he don't want you to have the life that you intend to have. He doesn't want you to be remotely near your legacy. Yeah, you know, when you took your first breath, your legacy was written, y'all. It was written already. That's why your higher power knows everything you're going to do before you do it. That's why it doesn't pay to be slick. That's why so many people get caught up on things, you know? There's a reason for everything. There really is. So, what would make you think that it would be any easier? Excuse me, I'm taking my boots off. I did just get in. So what made you think that because you are embracing your spiritual path, that life would be easier? Because sometimes I know society wants to paint this picture like, okay, you're embracing your spirituality, so you got this yellow brick road, and you're okay. No, and I'm not saying that to a degree, because guess what? Don't you think that makes you more rare than everybody else? So what makes you think that you wouldn't have people that don't want to see you grow? What makes you think that people would want to dim that star that is you? So guess what? As you try to embrace yourself, do that long overdue work, embrace that forgiving heart, and forgiving those people that have wronged you, guess what? That devil says, you know what? Remember when you had that thought of that guy in the back of your mind? Remember him? The guy that you were lusting over? And you said to yourself behind closed doors, if I ever met a man like that, what you would do? Guess what? The devil turns around and says, uh-huh. And he allows you to go on about your business so he can run interference in your life and bring that same caliber person to distract you from what you need, not what you want. And what happens? He ends up being the best provider you ever know, or the best lover you ever had. But guess what? There's a price. He'll never love you. Oh, he's got more secrets than you. Or worse. He's your taskmaster, and he wants to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind. More or less, an emotional and physical slave. That's how the devil works. Same thing, my kings. That thought that you got in the back of your mind, she gotta look like, she gotta have a waist like this, hips like that, eyes like this, hair like that. And you say, one day, if I ever run across somebody, like, I'm gonna do what I got to do to get her. And what does she do? What does he do? There's a into your life to come in to wreck it, to cause you more pain and sorrow that you wished that you could undo the hands of time to get to the day that you never met him. But guess what? Things like this happen all the time. But that doesn't have to be your story. Because you know what? Your higher power, I know him as my Lord Jesus Christ, has and will always bring you through all things. That's why your burdens are never more than what you can stand. Because he loves you that much. So let's flip it. So you got people in your circle that just don't get you. Oh, it's okay while y'all was having fun because it benefited them. But the moment that you decide to look a little deeper, look for that clarity, start to embrace your spirituality, they looked at you like you had the bubonic plague and they thought you were losing your mind. No, you wasn't losing your mind. You are actually finding yourself. And when it comes to your life, don't you think you're worth it? Huh? I know you do. That's why you're watching this video. You're tired of scratching your head. You're tired of going through the things you're going through. The reason why you're going through it is so that you know not to do it again. Maybe it is meant for you to finally have the courage to speak your truth. Some of you have so much pain inside your heart, and it's just oozing out of your spirit. And everything that's around you seems to fall apart. Why? Because you won't let that pain out. You won't give it to God. And guess what? Those people that don't have your best interest, they know it too. And they are using it against you. Every time you try to get up, they want to knock you down. They want to mess with your head. They want to play with your body. They want to even play with your money if you let them. Because they think that you are, how can I say it? I don't like using the terms weak. But they know that you're injured. You're sensitive right now. And they know that they can capitalize on your pain. Well, you know what, y'all? I've come to learn this too. Haven't you noticed when you are in a valley in your life, you will always find a constant. You will always hear the same tone, see the same people. Just like when you've peaked. Oh, everybody knows you. When you're up there, you're shining, you have this glow about you. Oh, everybody wants to have a piece of you. But God forbid you fall on your butt. God forbid that you go through something that has caused you to second guess and reevaluate everything that's going on thus far. I know I'm talking to somebody. I'm talking to your heart. I'm here to let you know, no matter what you see right now, don't get caught up on it. It is only a moment, because what your higher power has in store for you is going to be worth the journey. Now, like I keep telling you, there's a trade-off, y'all. There's a trade-off. The trade-off is the people that never had your intention, never saw your worth, never didn't care about your value, pretty much don't even care about your existence. They're not going to be able to go where you're going. You have to accept that. Not at this moment. Now, if it's divinely meant, because everybody can change, you may see him again if it's divinely meant. But I think some of you already know. Some of y'all already got a list of people you done wrote off because they wrote you off, and you can finally exhale, so to speak, because you knew you shouldn't have been with them anyway. You didn't want to be with them because you felt that was the consolation prize. So you said, well, you know what? If I can't beat them, join them. But is it at the expense of your tears? Is it at the expense of your heart? Is it at the expense of your body? You're nobody's slave, y'all. You're not. You're not. You deserve to be treasured. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be respected. But it starts with you first. Nobody can do anything you won't allow. Come on, queens. You need to give up that excuse. Well, the victim. You wouldn't have that bad boy in your life if you never let him in. I know you're saying, well, Youre, he's got good qualities. He's got so many good qualities, but it's the bad ones. It's them bad ones I just can't shake. I'm tired of it. Well, guess what? Don't you think that if he treasured you, he would change himself? Because guess what? You're not his mother. You're not his wife. And some of y'all may have made that step and put that ring on, and you can't get that ring off quick enough. You know, people get married and get in relationships for various reasons. But the question should be is this. Is it yoked? Ain't no hurt nobody. I know that needs to go to somebody. Because I know somebody's in a relationship right now and you think it's Friday night fights, not trying to make light of it. You shouldn't feel that you gotta go, you gotta step out into the world and deal with the harshness of reality and then go back home and you going through the same thing. That ain't where you're supposed to be at. Yep. That's not where you're supposed to be at. And let me flip the script. Because this is something that goes on that society loves to turn a blind eye to, but it happens just as much. Okay, my kings. You afraid if your secret get out that you're going to be looked at as weak. Excuse me. But you hate going home. It's not the fact that you hate going home because of the things that you have. It's the fact that you go home because who's there. And you know, as soon as you pull up in that driveway, she's going to be jumping on your head. Yeah, that's right. See, society doesn't talk about it, but abuse has no gender. And there's a lot of men being abused. And I know I know my queen's just saying, well, you know what? He probably deserved it. Perhaps. But haven't y'all heard that saying? When a person has been abused, 9 times out of 10, they're going to abuse someone else, usually the people they love. And that usually happens. Let's spin it. Come on, queens. You know this society has a lot of broken women because of things that have gone on in relationships they shouldn't have been in, because of the fact that some of them are longing for the love and attention from their fathers that they never got. So they put this they put this mindset is, I'm gonna find a man and I'm gonna turn the man into my daddy. That's why sugar daddies have jobs. That's why they exist. That's why bad boys and bad girls exist. It's not for benefit of you, it's to distract you from what you need, not what you want. And they will use whatever they need to keep you at bay. It may be your sexuality. It may be your time. It may be your money. You don't deserve that. Thank you, my angels. What you hear in the background is my TV. You know, I always put the radio, I put the music channel on. And this is a fitting song, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And have any child noticed the climate of the world? Y'all notice that? Y'all notice, like, they're just trying to snuff humanity out at all costs. They're trying to, if they had it no way, there would be no spirituality. They don't want you, all they want you to do is believe in is that dollar. That's why they put the stuff out on TV the way they do. You know, things that shouldn't be shown at 8 o'clock. And what do you see? Negativity. So what do? Is they say, well, you know what? If I can't put fear in their heart, I'm going to take that heart completely. I'm going to put these reality shows out there because I know there's going to be one person who's going to be able to relate to that puppet that's on the screen. That's right, I said it. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're dancing for $1. But what happens? They believe their own hype only to see the reality of when the camera comes off. But what's sad is they take no responsibility for the actions of what comes out their mouth. They don't think about the people that it will impact. That's why Charles Barkley said, I'm not no role model. He was honest. He was telling the truth. But you know what? The only role model that you truly need to look at is yours, your role. What is the role that you're modeling? Because guess what? No one can control the actions that you create but you. So, you want to go through life not knowing what love is? You want to go through life not feeling emotionally safe? Do you actually think life is meant by jumping out of one bed into the next, into the next, to the next, to the next? Don't you know every time you do that, a piece of you stays with that person? A part of your spirit goes to them, and a part of their spirit goes to you. You open up a spiritual door. So guess what? If they ain't walking right, anything that's connected to them is going to be your reality. You don't deserve that. Now, I know I'm going to get some flack about that, but I'm speaking my truth. And I believe that every man and woman on this planet deserves to be happy. But guess what? Living on this planet is not a free ride. You can't expect that you're going to have the life intended by doing it on your back. But you know what? Society don't care. Because all they want to do is say, hey, why don't you take this consolation prize called these $1,000 shoes, or this big fancy house that has no love in it, and play your role. Come on. Come on, my queens. Ain't nothing more sadder next to a rainy day than a woman who lost her smile. It's time for you to get your smile back. Yes, I know I'm talking to somebody. It's time for you to look inside that heart and say, you know what? I deserve better. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to love me. And if these people that are in my environment do not want to love me, I got to love myself more and step back It's okay to step back. You're not betraying nobody but yourself until you do. Put some get right in your spirit, y'all. Do you not see your worth? Because I'm going to tell you what. A person that does not see their worth is the first one that is forgotten. That is not your fault. It's not. Man, I look crazy as hell with my hair off. But look here, I work today. I work today. That's right. I work today. Gonna keep working too. But you know what? When it's all said and done, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be in a place, and that smile is gonna be contagious. And you're gonna look back and you're gonna be so amazed of how far you've come. And guess what? The people that unconditionally loved you, they're doing the same thing. They are. I'm just messing with my hair. My hair is just tripping. I gotta leave that alone, y'all. It's distracting me too. It is. So I'm gonna pull it back. But what I was saying is, you got some people that just, I hate to say it, have given up on their lives. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. So, because they've given up on themselves, they want to come and distract you. They want to hate on you. You know what? I think that's got to be the one job that always has vacancies. But that's okay, because there's going to be a long line of them. Because you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be amazed how far your life has changed. They're going to look at you and like, wow. They're going to be amazed. But guess what? Don't have a judging heart. Have a compassionate heart instead. Because guess what? Even though you may be in a position where it may be a little difficult right now, you might not know where you're coming or going. Let me tell you something. You want that clarity? Start talking to him. He's waiting on you. See, I know some people think that, well, you know what, Gerald? I've done some foul stuff in my day. I'm in the midst of some foul stuff. And I'm ashamed because if I try, he might not hear me. Guess what? Let me tell you something. He's actually doing this. Come on. Come on. That's what he's doing. He's waiting. He's waiting. Because he wants to see how bad you want to change your life. But I'm going to tell you what. You know that devil? He's sitting right next to him saying, look here. Oh, they're going to fall. They're going to be right back to what they were doing before. I don't even know why you even invested in him. I know what he about. And guess what? That ain't nothing but a test. How many times have you been on that crossroads and you saying, you know what? I need to be at home. I need to be home. But then something comes up that seems so sweet. Your heart starts jumping like, man, I need to be there. I need to be there. If I don't, I'm going to miss out. You know how we get. You know, we hate to miss out on anything. And then we go. Only to invite more delay. Sometimes it's okay to say no. I know y'all saying, why would you do that, Gerald? I'm going to tell you why. It's very simple. Because if it's intended for you to have, you're going to have it. My queens, how many times you went retail shopping? I'm just messing with you. You went to a store and you saw an outfit or something that caught your eye when you walked in. But you wasn't feeling the price. But you wanted it. But you finally got your composure and you said, nah, I'm cool. You went on about your business and you took care of what you needed to accomplish. And some time progressed. Maybe a month, whatever. And when you least expected, you happen to go back into that store, totally forgot about it, and you saw that same item right there like, hey, remember me? But guess what? It was even a fraction of what you was going to pay. Why? Because that was meant for you to have. Yeah. So it's okay to be patient. It's okay to say no. But what you don't say no to is that beautiful heart of yours. You don't say no to speaking your truth. Listen, I know, especially in our culture, we don't like talking about things that's going on inside because, for some reason that you people think you're weak. And I'm gonna tell you what, the most strongest person you're gonna ever come in contact is a spiritual person. Why? Because they fear God. They fear Him. They don't want to disappoint the Most High. So they stay within due bounds. Because if they didn't, they know they'll be just like the people in the cheap seats. And I'm not judging, I'm just speaking fact. I know somebody right now, your pockets is burning. You're like, man, you want to get that new car. You want to get that you want it bad. You can smell it. But you know you got responsibilities that you have to do. Yeah, I'm your validation right now. Let me tell you something. You handle your business. Do what you need to do. And trust and believe when I tell you this. What that you desire, not only are you going to have it, but you're going to have it at the price that you want. It's all a test, y'all. You meant to pass it. See your worth. Speak your truth. Love yourself more. Because you deserve it. And guess what? Let me tell you something. Do not worry about those people that say this. Well, you know what? I ain't feeling you, so I'm leaving. Because I'm not getting my way. Kind of like that little kid that grab his little ball and want to leave the playground. They trying to use manipulation on, yeah, you didn't give me what I wanted, so I'm going to do this. You know what? Open the door for them. No, don't even do that. Let them find their way out. Change the locks. Yeah, I said it. Especially if they ain't paying no bills. I know they need to go out to somebody. That's how I know some of y'all getting ready to be the cleanup woman. But what you going to do is clean up that life, that beautiful life of yours. And rightfully so. It's time. What's getting ready to go down? We're on the backside of this winter. We'll be wrapping this up in about 35 days. Spring will be out, the flowers will be out, you be out. And guess what? You're going to be in the right place at the right time. You might meet a new friend. You might. But guess what? Make sure you allow yourself time to smell the roses in your life. Make sure you make time for yourself. Far too many times we stay on our grind and we think that, well, if I don't do this, now you got to prioritize what's best for your life. Don't get me wrong. But when's the last time you smiled? When's the last time you laughed? When's the last time you embraced being you? Because I'm going to tell you what, the people that don't have your best interests are just like potholes. They're everywhere, and it's your responsibility to sidestep it. That's why you're probably going through things right now. How many times I bet you know somebody right now, only time you talk to them is because they always got something going on. There's nothing right, but guess what? They're not doing nothing to change it. Why? Because they don't want to change it. Some people like misery loves company. So they know that, well, you know what? As long as I got an audience, I'm going to keep dancing. Come on, man. Come on, I ain't got to tell you. Listen, spring, summer months are coming. There's going to be a lot of activities. There's going to be a lot of places you're going to want to go. There's a lot of experiences you want to embrace. Make sure your experience is taking care of you first, and watch how everything else will fall into place. Come on now. I know I'm talking to somebody. I know I am. You sitting over there worrying about what they doing. Why? Are they enriching your life? Are they, I mean, seriously, what are they doing for your life? I know I'm talking to somebody. You frustrated because the phone ain't ring. You should be glad that it don't. Because every time that you look at the phone, there's always something going on, right? Come on now. Come on. Now, I know some of y'all doing this right here, too. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. But ask yourself this. Do they have love on their mind, too? And if they do, are they your best friend? Mm-hmm. And one more thing. Do they have a relationship with your higher power? Because if they don't, they ain't sticking around. They won't. I had to learn that. I had to learn that. They won't. They be ripping and running until they learn to find themselves. And sometimes what happens? They go through something. And because you're connected to them, you're going to have a certain compassion for them. But guess what? People have to take accountability for their actions. That's the only way that you'll get the insight and wisdom from them. I know some of y'all, you're like, well, Gerald, if I don't stand by him, there's no loyalty there. He's going to think that I don't have his best interest. He should have his best interest first. Come on now. If you up every day going to work, guess what? Shouldn't the door lock twice? Nah. You're not nobody's pack mule. You need to respect yourself. And trust and believe when I tell you this. When you start to invest in yourself, clarity will come. You'll begin to heal. And that's what I know a lot of us have to do. Heal. Some of y'all carrying pains from your childhood into your adulthood. And it's like a bad car wreck. Come on now. That's why I always throw this out there. Especially us. Listen. How much is your happiness worth? How much? How much is that heart worth? How about that? I know somebody said $1 million. No, it's priceless. So listen, if you want the joy and happiness to come into your heart, number one, connect with your higher power. Number two, if you got a full-time job, you got insurance. And if you got insurance, invest in a therapist, a counselor, somebody that you can talk to that does not have an underlying benefit by your truth, that genuinely want to help you. If you're actively in the church, find someone that you can talk to. Two things will come out of that, like I said in my previous video. Either A, they will show you another option and way to go about your life, or B, validate you are already on the right path. But you can't do that unless you take that fear out your heart, that anger out your spirit, that confusion out of your mind. You got to remove those three things, because until you do, guess what? You're not going to be able to embrace the things you need the most. Because I'm going to tell you what, that bad boy don't care about your sanity. He just wants you to keep letting him hit. I'm being honest. That female that you calling, you keep ripping and running to, that only empties those pockets and never fulfills you inside, she don't care. Because long as there's a resource, there's a motive. Come on now. You're more than your assets. You're more than that. I know I'm talking to somebody. But anyway, I done talked enough, and I need to go to bed. I love each and every one of y'all, and you deserve to have the life intended. But you can't do that until you see your worth first. So that means you got to speak your truth. You got to take that. If you got to step back from your environment because your environment is not enhancing your growth, what you waiting on? What you waiting on? What you afraid of? Because I'm going to tell you something. Newsflash. Yes, everybody can change. But guess what? They only change when they have to. That's why you see people flip-flop. We're humans. We're going to make mistakes. But listen to your spirit. Listen to it. And what does it tell you? I bet you it has a smile connected to it. I bet you it has strength connected to it. I bet you it has happiness connected to it. Why? Because it's you. So I need you to love yourself. No one can do it but you. And the moment that you do, guess what? You set the template of what is to be received. And you're worth it. Alright, y'all. I gotta go. But like, don't like. But the fact that you took the time to hear what I had to say, that's all that matters. And if you got any questions or concerns, hit me below. I'll get back to you. But as always, God's praying for you. You know I do. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern my... Y'all don't even realize, y'all, 6 months from now, y'all gonna look back and be like, I can't believe I did this. It was all divinely orchestrated. Because you're loved. Claim it. All right, y'all. Have a blessed week. Love to hear from you. Bye.